One of the issues with loft conversions is that you lose a lot of valuable storage space in your house. The loft is usually a really useful place to store Christmas trees and suitcases and all your old bits and bobs. So today we're going to talk about building in storage, built-in storage into your design and your build. So let's step into the finished loft room that we've created. And in here, we've been thinking about all the potential storage options. So we've got some eaves storage, we've got a desk area, we'll talk about that later, we've got a built-in wardrobe, and we've got some other areas that we've done some design on. So just coming over to this wall here, where the stairs arrive in the room, the building regulations in the UK stipulate that you have to have a landing. So this area here, between the top step and the door to the room, has to be included for safety. When somebody comes up the stairs, to make sure that they don't fall back down, you have to have a landing like this. And the minimum is 850 mil. So we've put this round about a metre. So what that's done is it's pushed the door into the room forward, and then you've got the conundrum of how do you manage that inside the room. And you could, so we'll close this door over. So we had the option of, we could have just had a wall next to the door and then step this area back, or we could have just squared the whole thing off and lost that space behind the wall. But what we've done is we've taken the opportunity that the 850 mil has given us to build a wardrobe alongside the door. So we've built it to the maximum possible width, so you can see in the corner where the architrave goes, where it touches the sloping ceiling, the eaves to the front of the house. We've maximised the space to create this wardrobe. And we've then put a mirror on it, which gives the impression that it's twice the size. So the room, when you look around the room, if you look into that part, it gives you the impression that the room's twice as big. So it's quite a nice idea for you to just make it feel more spacious. We've put the sliding doors on, and that really is one of the reasons for that, is that it's easier to access and you don't have to worry about the door of the wardrobe clashing with the door into the room, or clashing with the cupboard doors, or hitting your bed, or any of those things. So we put a sliding door on. So let's have a look inside and what we've done inside the actual cupboard itself. So first thing we've done is we've installed a hanging rail, which is at 1.2 metres from the floor. Most clothes hang down somewhere in the region of a metre, so that will give us about 200 millimetres at the bottom here, where we could store shoes or boxes or anything else that you like to put underneath your clothes. So we've got a hanging rail, double hanging rail. You can see that it's the full width right the way across. And then above that, we've installed some shelves. So we've made these 300 mil high, which is plenty high enough to be able to stack jumpers or jeans or t-shirts or whatever it is that you're looking to store. So we've got two of those shelves. As you can see, the ceiling height is actually higher than the two shelves. So what we've done, we've actually done a third shelf, a concealed shelf. It's stepped back so that you can access it. So this shelf is about 2/3 of the width of the other two shelves, but it's stepped back, and then you can see inside that the ceiling it does have a slight curvature to it. So you can see the curvature here, but you've got most of the space is usable. When you step back, you can't actually see that shelf. It is a concealed, hidden shelf. But it's just maximising the internal storage, making this part here above is now being used for storage rather than dead space. And what you want to avoid is dead space in your loft. It is criminal if you don't use every single square inch. So then we had an issue as to what do we do with this part in the corner. Now, this part in the corner, the bit behind the wardrobe here is where the staircase is. So if we step out into the stairs, you can see down here that behind the wardrobe, this part of the wall here, is actually the space above the stairs. So we couldn't do anything with that. But the back wall, so this section next to the wardrobe, is full depth. So that goes all the way to the end of the house, the side of the house. So it's a lot deeper. If you look at the wardrobe, which is only about 800 deep, this part here is more than 2 meters deep. So the question was, what do we do with that? Now, we could have carried the wardrobe across and just had some more storage next to it, more shelves and more storage. But that would have been a waste. That's another criminal waste of the part behind it. If you look at the wardrobe versus the piece next to it, it is considerably deeper. So we thought that this could be used as a potential office or dressing room space. So we've installed a light to make it more usable. It's quite tight. It's only about 1.2 meters wide, but it is definitely big enough to be able to put a desk or a dressing table in this space. Probably we'd put the desk on this side here, so you'd have the desk here and your chair where the full height section is. But you would have the ability to work from home here, to have a dressing table, to get ready, anything you want to do. It's just a good use of a small, awkward space, but it's making it part of the room and making it something that's an interesting feature. So we designed this alongside the wardrobe and the door to the room to make sure we were maximising every single inch. So, you know, you could do something different with this, but don't ever agree with the builder to just run the wall straight across. It's easy for builders to be able to just do things that are square, to just square it off and say, job done. But if we'd have lost this space, look at how much space in that wardrobe and in here there is that we could potentially have just never had available to us. Turning to the eaves, so this is the part of the room, this is the front of the house where the roof slopes down, and you need to install a wall. So we've got ours here at about 1 meter high, so it's about 1 meter from the floor. And if we step all the way back, we could put the bed in this room. So the bed could sit between these two cupboards to have the headboard here, or we could have it in the corner, or it might come off this wall. But either way, you can still use this space up to this wall. Behind that wall, there's a lot of valuable space. And again, builders, it's easier for builders to just be able to square this wall off, not have any doors, and just paint over it. Don't ever agree to that. Make sure you include some cupboards and some cupboard doors. So we've put 2 sets of doors to make it easier, because this is a very long space. It's about 6 meters from one side to the other. So it's too long to put one door in, because it's, you know, you'd be crawling a long way to get things at the far end. So we put 2 doors in, and we also split the doors in half. So you can see there's 2 separate doors. Again, to make it easier, it makes the doors smaller, so they're easier to swing open. They don't have to have so much room on the floor. And also, you only need to open one door to get in, to just pop something in there. So it just makes it easier to access. And also, design-wise, you know, it makes it look more designed and more upmarket. So we put 2 doors in. One of the critical things is to make sure that the floor level inside the eaves is the same height as the rest of the room, because it's easier for builders not to carry the floor on into the eaves, and that means that when you put things in the cupboard, they drop down, they're hard to get out, it's more awkward to use the space. So don't agree to that. Have the floor level continue all the way. And then the other tip is to have the same finish. So you can see here we've got wooden floor. If we go back to the wardrobe, we carried that wooden floor on into the wardrobe, so it feels part of the room. We've done the same with the skirting board. You can see the skirting board around the room carries on into the wardrobe and makes it more finished. So if we have a look in this eaves cupboard, we can see the same features. So the floor carries on through as one continuous floor. And what that does, it makes the whole space feel bigger. It makes that cupboard look and feel part of the room. So it's a great feature, but it also is easier to use because you can just crawl in and out very easily. We've done the same with the skirting board. The skirting board in here carries on all the way around the cupboard. So that means it just is easier to use, it's more hard wearing. You can see here, we've stored some wood If we're banging that wood against the skirting board, it will be fine. If it was just plasterboard, it could damage that plasterboard, and then it becomes more difficult to manage. And we've also plastered the ceiling in here. So we've plastered and painted it so that it looks like ceiling, so it's a nice finish. We haven't done that on this back wall because there's no point. You can't see it unless you're in the cupboard. The other thing we've done is put some lights in here, which makes it much easier to use because it's all nice and bright and illuminated. So it just feels like a great space. But look at how much additional storage we've got in here. It is massive. So it's 6 meters long. It's over 1 meter deep, and the height of it, you could easily store all your suitcases and your Christmas trees and all your old photographs and memories and whatever it is you need to put in here, all storable. So, and then we'll just go over to the other cupboard, same idea. And it's, we've just seen this, but we just look down the end, you get a feeling for how big this space is. It really is massive. And it would be criminal not to be using this space for storage. This is the sort of area that you lose when you do develop your loft. So you have to make sure you include the storage for that. Add on the extra space we've got here and the wardrobe, and we've really got a lot of usable storage space. Well, let's have a quick look around the rest of the room, the other things that we've done. So here, where this wardrobe was built, we could easily have just squared the room off and made the ensuite bathroom the same level, and that's what the builder wanted to do. It was easier for him to just carry the wall on all the way across here. But we only needed 1.5 meters for the ensuite bathroom. So we've stepped it back, and the reason we've done that is then, as the wall is slightly further back here, it gives us more space between this wall and the window, where we can now install a desk or some drawers or a wardrobe or something. It gives you more options. If it was further forward, if this wall carried on at the same, so if we look at the flooring, where this flooring is here, this board, we have lost these 2 boards behind the ensuite bathroom. It just would have made it more difficult to put a wardrobe in there or a desk or drawers. So you have to maximise the space. And the same over here. We've got a chimney breast, and this chimney breast has been boxed in with the plasterboard. You can see in all of the videos how we did that. And at the time, the builder said, well, let's just square that wall all the way across, which would have been easier. But we said, no, let's step it back. So we've got here probably about 200, there's about 200 millimeters here. And what that's done, stepping it back, is it means that we've now got between the back wall and the window, so this section here is about 700 millimeters, which means we could put a double wardrobe into this space now. So if we'd have squared the wall off, we wouldn't have been able to do that. It would be too small. But now we can put a double wardrobe in there. So you have to think of where the furniture is going to go, and every single square inch makes a difference. Let's have a look in the bathroom, because we've done some built-in storage in here as well. So we've got a relatively small ensuite, but it's nicely finished. So we've got a big walk-in shower. We've got the vanity unit and the toilet, and we've got the built-in radiator. So in here, in the shower area, it's 1.5 meters, this bathroom, from wall to wall. This shower is 1.2 meters, which is a big shower. So, it's a luxurious shower. We've got sliding doors again, because it's easier, because you don't have to worry about the doors swinging and hitting the furniture, how you get in and out. But the 1.2 meters left us with 300 millimeters at this end, which you can see here, we've boxed in and tiled. So this section allowed us to put a shaver socket and some storage up here. But more excitingly, in the shower itself, we've utilised that 300 millimeter deep space to build 2 storage areas. So this first one here is for all of the things that you'll need to use in the shower, all your shampoos and shower gel and conditioner, anything else that you want. So it's a really handy, useful storage area. It's right above the shower control, so very easy to use. And then we built a very small section above, it's about 150 mil high, So in here, which we thought would be nice design feature for some aesthetic value. So you could put some plants or candles or something quite nice and neat, just to dress the bathroom, make it look a more homely and a nice sort of place to live. And we put 3 lights in there as well. And these are decking lights, so they're waterproof. Usually go outside, but they're quite small, but they make it a difference at night, give that nice illumination, really nice feature. So we've got quite a bit of storage here. And then with the sink, we could have just installed a standard sink, but we've gone for a built-in vanity unit, which has a cupboard beneath it. So this comes as you buy this online, we bought it, and you fit it in. It's got a nice, modern, stylish resin sink, but underneath here, built into it, you've got quite a lot of additional storage. So you'll be able to put all the things you don't want on display. So up here, you can have all your nice shampoos and everything else. Down here, you can put bleach and any cleaning equipment and anything else that you want to store in here. So really, really useful and essential in any new loft conversion, because you need places to store stuff. Just one final bit here. We boxed in the soil pipe. So we've got a nice little shelf down here next to the toilet. It's quite discreet. We've also got a little bit of space here. So you could put some bleach or whatever it is that you want in there. Other things we've done in this room in terms of being able to store things and put things in. We made sure that we built a windowsill. So we've actually tiled this. So quite a deep windowsill. So again, you can put something decorative on here. You can put some plants, or just something, some candles again, or something that just makes the room feel more homely. So all these little design features, really important. Definitely storage is a big issue when you're designing your loft. So make sure that you design as much of the space as you can to what you need, and don't ever let the builder just square things off and just box things over because it's easier for him. You're going to have to live here. You need the extra storage, so make sure you're always thinking about every square inch. Until the next time, thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks very much. Bye.